it's Felicity from Get Your Rock Out talking to the amazing Mr Lordi himself. How are you doing today?
At the moment, I'm doing pretty sweaty. I'm sweaty and, I feel good.
Fantastic, and massive congratulations on the show that you've just played. It was absolutely brilliant to finally get to see you live, so thank you for putting on such a wonderful performance.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
It was, and you're in costume now. The chance to interview you in costume.
What are you talking about?
I've heard rumours that actually some of this dates back to 1996 and that you've got the original pieces still. Is that true?
Well, yeah. Well, actually, you're partially correct, because I started the band in 1992.
Oh, and you've not got the original pieces from there?
Well, actually, but the costumes and makeup came around 1994. So I have bits and pieces from 1994. Well, I have everything. I have never thrown anything away. I have all the old costumes and masks still. Everything. Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing. I mean, it must get some hammering on stage as well, so you've obviously designed and made it exceptionally well.
Well, there's a reason, why we change costumes and masks for every album, for every tour, because, the materials are that are used in the costumes and masks are not meant to be for a touring band. These are meant for, film. Because it's prosthetic makeup, really. I mean, the whole costume is prosthetic makeup, basically. So, in its original or its how should I put it? I mean, in a movie set, in a film set, it's only used like a day, 1 day maximum, and we're using it like every day, at least like 2 or 3 years, So it's there's a lot of repairing, all the time, and repainting and all that stuff, with the costumes, and you cannot wash them, so that's also hence the smell. You guys
cannot
smell
anything,
it, but well, there's something wrong with your nose then, because usually people smell us, from a from a distance.
You smell of latex. It's not a sweaty smell. It's more of a kind of plasticky.
Yeah, it's latex and sweat, and dirt.
Maybe latex just always smells like sweat because of the times that you smell latex. Maybe it's.
You might have a point, though.
I think I do. I think I do. And you've always been in costume. You've never been pictured out of costume. Is there anything that could convince you to do a show without any of this on?
No. Because there are numerous examples of bands that have done it. Once they first got established with the costumes or make a certain kind of image. Kiss is the most famous one, of course, but Twisted Sister, Wasp in some extent. Even Alice Cooper took off his makeup for a short period of time. I think the Slipknot guys took off them. They revealed their faces. It's you should stick to your first idea and gut feeling. And I'm urging, if I ever get that crazy that I decide to take off the makeup and costumes, I urge everyone not to come and see us, because that will be. They're just like normal looking, fucking fat dudes, It's not, it's a tribute band then. It's not, it's of course, obviously we don't write the music or we don't record the music in the studio. We don't rehearse the music at the rehearsal loft with the costumes on. But when it's time to perform the music, that's when we, make ourselves pretty. Yeah.
Wonderful. And, one of your main influences you've often cited as being Alice Cooper. And he always says that, he's got his off-stage persona, and when he's off-stage, he is Vincent.
Right.
And when he's on stage, he is Alice.
Yeah.
I mean, do you feel that much extreme?
Well, it's exactly the same. Yeah. Of course, there's this grey area there. Because now I'm in the costume, but I'm not on the stage, so it's a little bit different. But I'm more of myself now than the stage persona.
And do you think it's possible for a band like yourselves, who do the full theatrical side, the full costume side, to not have that massive split?
Changing the mode, you mean?
Yeah.
I don't. Well, of course, it's technically possible, and we have had members that didn't change their mindset at all, and you could kind of. That's an interesting question, actually, because it's part of the. Then it becomes part of the character that it acts a certain way, and of course nobody knows that if he or she is acting the way he or she normally does, you know.
Yeah.
But then again, it's always the, well, you know, the way I act on stage with the costume, I don't act normally, you know, during sound checks.
Really? You mean you don't run up to children in the street
No.
and scream at them?
No.
You surprise me.
No. Well, not that often, at least, you know.
Have you ever been tempted just to sneak out just before a show and terrify somebody in the street?
Nah, not really, because you don't get paid for that. It doesn't pay.
Yeah.
It doesn't pay the rent at all. You know, it doesn't. You know.
No,
But you know, we've done, you know, some funny, you know, stunts. You know, sometimes well, you don't really run to the streets, but you know, sometimes, you know, when you're doing, let's say, like a photo session somewhere outside, and you know, you see that, okay, that you know, you see somebody coming, and it's like, okay, you know, that they didn't see you, and it's like, okay, there's a potential victim approaching.
Fantastic.
Yeah, but then again, with or without a costume, if you all of a sudden you come behind the corner and say, "Wah!" you know, you get scared.
That's very true. Yeah. Very true. So let's talk about the new album for a bit. You know, it's an absolutely fantastic album. It's gone down as one of my all-time favourites.
And that is not a matter of taste or matter of opinion. That's a cold fact.
It is a cold fact. No, but it is absolutely wonderful, and reviews have been great. And you know, it's one of these albums that you can just play constantly over and over again. You had a great reaction to the new stuff that you played tonight. Have you found that on a lot of the dates this tour? Are people really knowing the new material?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. The funny thing that we actually noticed. Was it yesterday? No, yesterday we had an off day, but day before that we had a show somewhere, and we realized that why aren't we getting the same kind of response on the last album songs in the UK area that we have, for example, that we had in Italy, Spain, or Germany, and then we realized, oh my God, the previous album was not released over here at all. So people don't, you know, unless you're a diehard and you know have the import of, you know. So it's like, so we might be changing the set list starting from tomorrow for the last 4 shows of the tour a little bit, because it's kind of useless to play songs if the fans don't know it, you know.
And it must be really, really difficult kind of choosing a set list from all the material that you've got. Do you find yourself, especially with the newer stuff that you've not played live more, that you do just want to experiment with it more and just throw more and more and more of the new stuff in there just to see what works best in a live stage?
Yeah, we started out the whole tour like 5 weeks ago. We started out with let me think. It was like we had 5 more songs in the set that we had on. Well, actually 6 more songs in the set than we had today, because we had to cut one out today because they told us during the set that so.
Yeah.
But yeah, we started the tour with a 2-hour show. Wow. So we were like trying out and you know, rehearsing all the songs, and we have done a couple of switcheroos during the tour. And now I know that, you know, probably starting from tomorrow we're going to switch, you know, a couple of songs, you know, from the previous album. I forgot the question already, so blah, blah, blah.
I think that pretty much answers it. If you had to pick one song off the new album that is your absolute favourite, what would it be?
It's either I'm the Best or Sincerely With Love, those 2 ones. But then again, if you ask Eamon, our guitar player, he says those are the worst ones on the album.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a good sign, because we you know, within the band you have like somebody has this as his favorite song, and somebody has that one, and you know, usually they are like their opinions are like night and day. Yeah, but it's a good sign usually.
Yeah, no, definitely. And okay, going back to the kind of the Eurovision, I mean, it was a massive thing for you guys. You know, obviously not.
Actually, it was a massive thing for everybody else than for us.
Oh, really? Okay, interesting. I mean, do you think, because obviously, you know, you opened yourselves up to much more of a worldwide audience through that. Yeah. I mean, do you think it's done you more favours or less favours? I mean, do you find people taking you less seriously because of it, or actually appreciating what you do?
We actually never had that problem. You know, we're that kind of a band. Well, like Kiss or Twisted Sister, we have never ever had to worry about being taken seriously, because usually the people who worry about credibility, they don't take bands like this seriously. No matter if we, and I often say that if Beatles or Led Zeppelin or Black Sabbath or Judas Priest or Slipknot or Slayer would have worn Kiss masks or Lordi masks, would their music somehow sound worse? And the sad answer is that for so many people it would. Wow. And think about it. Think about your friends. Yeah. There are people who would, you just, their favorite band, whatever. Let's say, I don't know, Beatles, for example. Well, that's a
Metallica.
Bad example.
Let's go Metallica.
Let's say Metallica, and you're a diehard Metallica fan, and you hate these fucking clowns, these bands who, have a really strong visual image. And if you would, tell them that if they would look like Lordi, they couldn't swallow it, and that tells more about those people than so they are so that's kind of a racism, in a way that it's like you are so concerned about the looks and so concerned about what other people think about you and what bands do you like than actually having the mind of your own, and that is so sad. But it's true. I forgot the original question already.
No, I think that was again. It's pretty much answered it. I mean, so you don't feel that Eurovision has done you disservice.
Yeah. So the funny thing is that I have absolutely not a single bad thing to say about Eurovision. As an organization, as a whole thing, they invited us in Finland to do the Eurovision. We said, okay, we absolutely have no chance of winning the Finnish competition, but let's go there and let's just get some, free, primetime TV time. And, surprise, surprise, we won, and then we went on and we were like, okay, now we actually have a chance of winning the whole thing. And we won, but that was not in the plans. That was like a side thing, and it's.
I remember watching it and I was just like, this is amazing. Such a change from normal. I think it just captured people's imagination.
So many people ask that what has changed after Eurovision. For us, nothing, because we didn't change for Eurovision. We didn't change one thing about the band or anything. We didn't act or do anything differently. We always do, and like you said, that it was a massive thing for us. It was a massive thing for everyone else except for us, because you don't get paid from Eurovision. You don't. The only thing that changed after that is that we broke like the mainstream awareness. So there are people who know at least the look of Lordi, and they know at least that one song if they watched Eurovision that year, 7 years ago. So it's the only thing that really changed, which we are really, eternally grateful, of course, because, you don't get that sort of a media exposure by touring overnight,
And of course you have a square named after you in Finland, which is pretty cool, I imagine when you started out you didn't think there'd be a Lordi Square.
But tell you something, it's in my hometown, on the Arctic Circle, and it's like, I never go there. I cannot even walk because I feel like kind of ashamed, even though nobody would know it's me. But it's and sometimes if I have friends over from Helsinki or wherever, hey, let's go to the square. It's like, yeah, I can drive you guys, and I just wait in the parking lot, and then you guys can go. And I'm like, yeah.
So you don't sit there every day with your sandwiches going.
No, but sometimes actually when I've been drunk, and after a bar, that's in the city center. So I could, I was that's my square. Fuck yeah. That's kind of embarrassing too.
Yeah, I think it's a good thing. Not everybody has their own square. I think it's something to be very proud of. Really.
No, but it's. Like having your own square, you don't actually own it. You don't really. There's nothing you can do with it.
No, except sit and appreciate looking cats.
Yeah. They never asked me because if they would ask me that what sort of decorations they would like to have there, that would be awesome because. Yeah, then it would be a different story.
Definitely. I think sadly I'm running out of time with you, which is unbelievably.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Can I carry on for a bit?
Yeah,
Am I going to get into trouble?
No.
Fantastic.
No. They will come and tell us
Okay,
what's
fantastic. I like that thought. I mean, the costume design side of stuff, and you yourself, you are so creative with everything, and you direct things, you make costumes, you do all of this. Can we expect anything like a Lordi film coming out anytime soon?
Well, Yes, we are actually having a Lordi film coming out soon, 2014.
That's brilliant.
But not the kind of film you're thinking. It's a documentary, like full-on behind the scenes. We are not revealing our faces, but it is full behind-the-scenes things, like from our homes, in the studio, writing the material, actually in our everyday, normal civil lives too.
Wow. You managed to film an entire documentary in full costume.
Well,
that is impressive.
Well, we are not in costume there. We are with other costumes, but we don't show our faces.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
So we get to kind of see neck downwards.
Yeah. Or it's blurred or whatever.
Wow.
So we're still shooting the last things that are going to be filmed for the film are next summer, a couple of summer festivals. Brilliant. But we started 3 years ago already.
Well, I can't wait for that. And kind of horror film wise, anything like that.
Well,
because
I've been talking to a couple of producers for 2 years, 3 years, even more actually. I have plenty of ideas. I would like to do like a real zombie fucking mayhem craziness, like an old school splatter thing. But I'm still struggling with two things. I would need to find a producer who would, have enough budget to actually, so that the actual final product would look like a, real thing. But then again, I would have the complete creative control, so it wouldn't be like with Dark Floors, the film that we did, where me and my best friend, the director Pete, we ran into a situation where not actually the producers, but the financiers of the producers said that no, you have to cut this out and you cannot do that, and they wanted to tone it down because of Eurovision. They thought that it's a kids movie and it's not it's not for children, and that was a kind of a difficult situation. So that's one, and another obstacle there is that I don't have the time, because the band would have to take a break for at least a year. And at the moment I don't see that in the horizon at all, that we would have a break for a year.
Well, I'll keep everything crossed that something like that does happen at some point soon, because I think it would be. Can you really cross your fingers?
I can.
No,
I can.
Okay.
It's just not that simple.
No, I'm quite impressed. I'm also impressed that you're managing to drink all right without skewering yourself in the face. Well used to it, I'm guessing.
Yeah, it's easy. That's a
nice little endorsement for Dr Pepper in the middle as well.
Yeah, my favorite drink actually.
Yeah, I'm not a fan, I must admit. No, I'm sorry.
Pepsi?
Yes, Pepsi is good. Well, Pepsi is good. Lucozade as well. Massive fan of Lucozade. So you should be here with a beer anyway, or a pint of blood if we're doing an interview.
Well, how do you know what's in there?
That's all right. So it could actually be a pint of blood inside, and
that is,
just to keep the image up.
Oh. Warm blood of virgins and sheep and
That's better rather than good old Dr Pepper. The next.
Well, that's what Dr Pepper is made out of. With some sugar.
Yeah, they're going to love us at the end of this one. Dr Pepper drinks somebody's blood. The next kind of 6 to 12 months, you've got a lot of festivals this summer and you're touring again at the tail end of the year. What else can we look forward to?
Sorry?
What else can we look forward to?
This year? Well, this year...
early next as well, I'm guessing it's getting closer to next year.
I don't know. I think... Well, this is my guesstimate, that we will be touring until the end of the year, and if everything works out as the plan looks now, we've done the festivals, and then we've done Japan and US, and then another leg of the European tour, and then probably I don't really see how we could tour with this exact same setup like a year from now in the spring. So probably we start writing for the new material then. But the actual I mentioned the documentary film, that's going to be out in the first quarter, or at least like the first half of 2014. So that probably will create something, you know.
And can we expect you back in the UK at any point soon? Because you don't tour here nearly enough. We do miss you when you're not here.
Yeah, I hope so, because the last time we weren't here, because we were here on Dead Egg album, and which was like, how many years ago?
4? Is it that long? Was it long?
I think so.
Because you played Download Festival as well. It was I think it was 2006.
Yeah, but then after that we also, you know, the Dead Egg album came out in 2008, I guess. So in 2009 or 8,
so
we were here.
Years.
And then the next album came 2010, and on that tour we did it because it wasn't released here, so that's why there's a long gap. So I really hope so that you know the next albums will be released over here too, so we can come here, because of course the promoters are not going to have a band that doesn't have an album out.
Yeah, no, that's certainly very true. Well, I really, really have enjoyed speaking to you today. It has been an absolute pleasure. I probably should let you go and get changed before we get thrown out of this venue. It wouldn't be nice to have to put you on the bus with that. Could be quite tricky getting through the door.
I just take off these shoulder pads and I'm good.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much.
It
has been an absolute pleasure. And we'll really look forward to seeing you next time.
Me too.
Thank you so much.